Alright, now I'm going to show you how we're going to form the center spine and pick up stitches so we can do side 2. This is the shape you should have right now with your live stitches along the top. What we're going to do first is we're going to turn over our work and place it so that your live stitches are going down the right hand side and the point of the work is to the left. And this is really important because the stitches we're going to be picking up are these slip stitches along the edge. And as we pick them up and knit them, this is going to form a ridge on the right side, and that is what we want to be doing. Now, if you are using unique sheep yarn, you have 2 balls of yarn right now. You have your new yarn, which you do not need, so you can just go ahead and throw that somewhere. And you want the yarn that you're actually using, which is your old yarn. It'll be a very small ball. It should look pretty much just like this. If you're using any other kind of yarn, just don't worry about this. This is for the unique sheep only. Now, in order to get started, the first thing that we're going to want to do, after we get rid of this extra piece of yarn we don't need, is we're going to need another needle. So we're going to take the needles we originally cast on with and used for the first part of the shawl, and we're going to be using them now to pick up our slip stitches. The first thing you need to do is take the last stitch that you made, which was actually a purl stitch, and you want to go ahead and move that stitch to the shorter needles. So now what you have is you have 1 stitch on the needles you're going to be using. And now we are going to pick up and knit our slip stitches. Now here we go. We're going to pick up our first one. You want to catch both parts of the yarn of the slip stitch. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to knit it. And the first few stitches are hard because you have this extra needle in the way, but that's okay. You can do this. Pick up the next slip stitch, and let's work that. And pick up the 3rd slip stitch. And we're going to go ahead and work that. And after you get about 4 or 5 slip stitches picked up and knitted, what I want you to do is pull this out just a little bit. You're keeping all the stitches, your live stitches, on your long needle. You're just going to leave them there. Just pull it so it's out of the way. Now we're going to pick up a few more because I want to be able to show you what this is actually going to look like. It's going to be a little confusing when you first look at it, and it won't look like much of anything until you've knitted the first few rows on side 2. So we're going to pick up a few more. Yeah, picking up 2 strands. Once you actually do it, you'll understand. It's a little hard to explain in pictures. Ooh, I'm being visited by a large bug. Alright. And I think we'll do 1 more. Just pick up 2 stitches. And now if we turn this to the right hand side, you'll see you're getting a ridge of stitches, knitted stitches going this way. Now I want you to continue picking up and knitting every slip stitch until you get to the point. When you get to the point, you are going to want to actually pick up the point. So you're going to kind of manufacture a slip stitch. So you're going to get down in there and you're going to pick that up as your last stitch. And you'll have somewhere between 65, 70, 75 stitches on here. And the number doesn't need to be exact because we're going to adjust for that. And if you're wondering why some of you will have a different number of stitches than the others, it's just one of those mysteries. Don't worry about it. You just want to make sure when you're done that you don't have big gaps. See how nicely the stitches look along here? And that's really what you want to see. So it looks just like your other rows. Now, the main part of your shawl is going to stay on your long needle. You are not going to be using that for a while. You're only going to be knitting on your shorter needle. When you're done, your live stitches will now be on here, your slip stitches, and you'll begin, I believe it's pattern F with that.